one thing I realized is this कि अगर मेरी जिंदगी का soundtrack कुक होता तो then I would have been much more, I think, happy, more successful than I am right now. I would know joys that maybe no person has known before, because in this film, every time this soundtrack plays, I was like, wow, this is what I need in my background. This is the soundtrack that would improve my life. Hi, I'm Pratiksha Mishra and you're listening to my review of Crew. अगर आपने ट्रेलर देखा है तो आपको इस फिल्म का बेसिक प्रेमिस तो पता होगा ही, बट स्टिल आई विल टेल यू अ लिटिल बिट. देयर आर 3 women, Geeta played by Tabu, Divya played by Kriti Sanon and Jasmine played by Kareena Kapoor. All 3 of them are flight attendants in Kohinoor Airways. Airways, airlines, the film switched between these बीच में. I don't know if that's an error or it's just something they use synonymously, but Kohinoor मान के चलो. Now, I don't have to tell you what Kohinoor Airways is based on. Neither do I have to tell you what the character Vijay Walia is based on, which is played by Shashwat Chatterjee. फिल्म की शुरुआत होती है सबकी थोड़ी सी बैक स्टोरी देकर. गीता सेठी, Tabu's character, is a beauty queen or was a beauty queen and now is a flight attendant. She lives with her husband Arun, played by Kapil Sharma. अरुण का जो एक रेस्टोरेंट बिजनेस था वो उनके भाइयों ने शायद मिलके हड़प लिया है, तो अब वो अपने घर से एक छोटा सा क्लाउड किचन चलाते हैं. उन दोनों का सपना है कि किसी तरह बस पैसे जमा हो जाए या तो गीता का पीएफ उनके पास आ जाए और वो गोवा जाके अपना एक रेस्टोरेंट खोल लेंगे. Then there is Divya, Kriti Sanon's character, who has always dreamt of being a pilot. Of course, she is a flight attendant now, but उन्होंने अपने माँ बाप से झूठ बोला हुआ है कि वो पायलट है. Jasmine, played by Kareena Kapoor, wants to become a CEO. उनका एक बिजनेस है जिसको वो टेक ऑफ कराने की कोशिश कर रही है, इन्वेस्टर्स ढूंढ रही हैं, पर हो नहीं पा रहा है. So she of course also is now working for the airline. पर उनके aspirations बहुत बड़े हैं. She wants to buy these fancy brands, she wants to buy these fancy cars, she poses with them even though she doesn't own them. It's all aspirational and mostly for social media. इनकी जिंदगियों में मेन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट अब ये है कि उनको पिछले 6 महीनों से सैलरी नहीं मिली है एंड दे काइंड ऑफ हियरिंग रूमर्स कि द एयरलाइंस हैज गॉन बैंकक्रप्ट, सो नाउ दे डोंट नो व्हाट देयर फ्यूचर होल्ड्स फॉर देम. अब इसी के चलते चलते एक हादसा हो जाता है एंड समहाउ दे एंटर द वर्ल्ड ऑफ क्राइम. दे एसेंशियली हैव टू नाउ स्मगल गोल्ड. जब वो इस रैकेट में आ जाते हैं गोल्ड स्मगलिंग के, दे मीट अ फ्यू कैरेक्टर्स. एक कैरेक्टर है तृप्ति खामकर का कैरेक्टर, विच इज सब इंस्पेक्टर माला, जो हाथ धो के उनके पीछे पड़ी है क्योंकि उनको पता है कि इन्होंने कुछ ना कुछ तो किया है, बस सबूत नहीं मिल रहा. वी ऑल्सो मीट दिलजीत दोसांझ कैरेक्टर, हु इज कृति सनोन्स कैरेक्टर्स लव इंटरेस्ट हियर. वो लोग शायद पहले कॉलेज में मिले थे एंड नाउ दे काइंड ऑफ ट्राइंग टू रिकिंडल दैट रोमांस. उन दोनों का केमिस्ट्री ऑन स्क्रीन इज एब्सोल्युटली फैबुलस एंड दैट इज ऑल्सो व्हाई अ लॉट ऑफ द रोमांस काइंड ऑफ सेल्स. क्रू को क्या बोले, बड़ी कॉमेडी बोले, हाइस्ट बोले, क्योंकि एट सम पॉइंट आपसे को इज दिस आवर ओशंस 8, क्योंकि सेटअप थोड़ा सा वैसा आपको फील कराता है, बट इट्स नोवेयर क्लोज टू दैट फिल्म. We don't have to compare it even. I was just kind of hoping that it would be that good, but still, Crew isn't a bad movie. It's actually quite fun. बहुत सारे scenes इसके हैं where you're kind of laughing out loud. The comedy often lands. There are some jokes that don't, and it's usually the ones that are kind of crass. And not in the sense that, oh, they're crass, so they're not funny. They're just not written well for that genre of jokes. Best parts of the film come from the chemistry that the main lead actors are sharing. तीनों के performances are marvelous and it really helps that तीनों के characters उन actors को mind में रख के लिखे गए हैं. करीना कपूर को छोड़ के जैस्मिन का character ऐसा कोई नहीं कर सकता था, and Kriti Sanon plays Divya with just a gusto that is so fun to see on screen. I generally think this is one of her better performances in her career. All the characters at some points do feel like archetypes, but the film does write them smartly in the sense that they're very relatable. We get to see how the relationships are with the people around them. I also like that we don't have a very basic family unit across characters. Kyunki Jasmine's character, for example, lives with her grandfather. They have a different equation. There's also Geeta Sethi's equation with her husband, and also her brother pops in beech mein. We get to see that relationship as well. And I also like that Geeta has a very sensitive relationship with her brother's wife. We have Divya lying to her parents, but still has a bit of a very soft kind of heartwarming relationship with them, and also we see how her equation with her brother plays out. So a lot of this kind of plays into how warm and how just nice these characters can feel. And we also see how all these characters do have their flaws. They have entered a world of crime, for instance, but वो flaws हमें बीच-बीच में देखने को मिलते हैं. A lot of their credit also, of course, goes to the writers Nidhi Mehra and Mehul Suri. We see that Geeta Sethi maybe lives with anxiety, but that isn't explored well enough for you to actually kind of understand what's going through her mind. Crew might be mounted well, but I did feel a little let down by the camera work. It's very basic. For a film like this, in the genre of badi comedy, chalo side mein hatao, agar hum heist ka genre hi dekh le, you need camera work that matches it, and a basic camera work just doesn't cut it in a genre like this. And here that did end up happening. I was distracted by how some shots just did not seem impressive enough for this film. The background score also isn't anything special as such. I did like the kind of cook that keeps entering the film. Of course, that's from Choli Ke Piche Kya Hai, sung by Alka Yagnik and Ela Arun. यहाँ पे उसका remix किया गया है. I thought I would absolutely hate it because I love the song, but I didn't. One thing I noticed during this film is that someone, anyone, needs to capitalize on the chemistry between Kareena Kapoor and Tabu, because oh my god, amazing chemistry, and someone needs to capitalize on that. I do like the idea that they didn't think of giving everyone a love interest. I like that these women can exist just as characters or individuals of their own in this film. There are parts where the film is just too loud. It feels like it's loud just for being loud's sake, क्योंकि silence में भी या muted kind of sounds में भी comedy can happen, even the slapstick one. क्योंकि मेरा favorite sequence is one that doesn't have a lot of loudness, if you will. It's where they fully cannot manage to drug someone because she's a picky eater. उनको समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है क्योंकि वो कुछ खा ही नहीं रही है, ना कुछ पी रही है. She's like, oh, this is too sweet, this is too sour, this is too watery. So they can't give her the sleeping pills. I also enjoy that we have this kind of raunchy humor in the film as well. There are parts where that kind of also doesn't fit very well, but I love that it's a part of these women's lives. We often see this kind of happen through a male gaze. Here that isn't very prevalent, though I did sense some scenes where that was kind of happening. Crew is not a perfect film. Beach mein, it just becomes very, very dull. I found myself getting a little bored. I stayed with it just because of how fabulous the performances are. I wanted to see how they would kind of take the story forward, but the screenplay and the writing did kind of stumble in the middle, where I was like, ठीक है, आगे बढ़ो, I get it, setting हो गया, ये सब चीजें हो रही हैं, let's move on. And that happens in the heist sequence, and I think that is because this is a very basic heist. There's nothing novel about the concept as such. So you kind of don't have anything to be either hooked onto or be surprised by, तो आपको थोड़ा सा वो डल लगने लग जाता है. I don't think I have never not been impressed by Tabu. I was excited about Crew for Tabu. Her acting in this film I think is my favorite, even though she does feel a little underutilized. उनके हैं काफ़ी solid punches film में, but I just feel like we could have done more. We could have done more with her character, but she does it so well. This kind of woman who is resilient, really trying to just give her and her husband the dream that they want, and also at the same time kind of keep control of the situation, kind of handle everybody around her. It's just a very well written character, but वो पूरी तरह से realize नहीं हो पाता because it ends up being a little superficial. Kareena Kapoor giving us the best, just her pulpiest, just the 2000s K3G drama and just the sass. It's all back and it's so fun to see on screen. मुझे तो मजे आ गए. Kriti Sanon does get overshadowed by the absolute legends that she's working with, but not in a bad way. It's not that you won't remember her. She does hold her ground quite a bit. Diljit Dosanjh and Kapil Sharma both give very decent performances, but उनका इस फिल्म में ज़्यादा role है नहीं, and I'm not complaining. They play these kind of green flag men who are just there to help the story along and just stand by the side of the women that they love, and I love that. Love that. It's so rare for us to see that on screen, so itna I will take it. I will buy that. It's fine. Shashwat or Chatterjee is again a little underutilized. He's a fabulous actor. I feel like he could have done a lot with a role like this if it was a little meatier. Crew might not be just a laugh riot, if you will, but it does do enough to keep your attention. It's fun for like to just sit and eat some popcorn and watch a film and just relax and sit and just kick back for a bit. Crew, like one of its penultimate scenes, is a flight that has taken off but doesn't exactly know where to go, and the turbulence in between does not help. अगर आपका बीच में interest थोड़ा छूट जाएगा, I wouldn't blame you, but I would kind of ask you to try and stay with it, see where the actors are taking the film, because they deserve a lot of applause and also a much better film. That being said, Crew is not a bad film. Good Friday, good movie. Maybe go watch it, tell me what you think, and that is why my rating for Crew is 3 stars out of 5.